Um, I am now about to review Hollywood Undead. Sorry, American Tragedies. I'm gonna say this album's different, but you still got the old style mixed in with, I think, better style. It's got more meaningful songs, more instruments, and a lot more diversity. The problem with Swan Songs, I liked it, but some of it was just downright repetitive. But there's problems with this album too. You got another picture of the band standing together. They were still able to make it look epic. American Tragedy, another appealing name. In the back, you got the song names with the band, obviously. Uh, you've got inside, you got pictures of the band again, except new singer. Obviously, we knew this in 2010. Obviously, um, they don't really have lyrics in it anymore, unfortunately. And I mean, they still don't have lyrics like on the last album. I'm gonna first off say, obviously, all the haters of Danny don't know talent. Um, he works a lot better with Hollywood Undead. He's honestly a lot better singer than Deuce. I'm sorry. No offense to Deuce, I enjoy his music with Nine Lives, but I think Deuce is doing honestly making better music on his own. But I like Danny singing better. He actually sings live, and Deuce would lip sync most of the performances with Hollywood Undead. And when he sung live, like he actually sung terrible. Now, I'm not trying to insult Deuce, but those videos with Hollywood Undead, he did not sing very good at all. I'd like to hear some newer live stuff with Deuce, but there's no close-up videos of it, so I can't tell if he's lip syncing or not. But there's too much diversity, but there's too much controversy going on between this. I think by now, I think both Deuce and Hollywood Undead stopped giving a shit. I honestly wish they'd kind of just, make up and not really just take a Deuce back in the band, but just kind of maybe play a show together, like for old time's sake or something. But that's probably not gonna happen. They're from gang type of places, and they just probably ain't getting along very well. And I don't know whose fault it is that Hollywood Undead broke up. You hear one side of the story, you hear another side of the story. The interviews just kind of mosh together. Alright, so getting into the interview, you start off with Ben DeHill. Starts with a kick-ass guitar. If you wouldn't expect such a rocky start from Hollywood Undead, starts off with a kind of really toned down verse with some kind of boring rapping. But then you come into this really big chorus that has some huge vocals by Danny that are strong as hell and will pretty much kick your ass. It's a really good song. The song kind of starts to lag on a bit though, but otherwise it's still one of the good songs. It's one of the singles. Apologize. Starts off with some newer type of beats, some vocals by Danny in the beginning, and kind of some weird effects on the voices too. It's a good song until it goes on for quite a while and it gets really repetitive, but otherwise it's a good one. Coming in hot starts off with Charlie Sheen's vocals, and then you have this really fast kind of kick-ass. I mean, it's another party song. It's really good vocals by Danny, and it's another one of my favorites. It's one of the other hit songs. Um, Shows off really good vocals by Danny and more good rapping by the other band. My Town starts off, you wouldn't think much of it as it starts off, but through the verses you notice the song starts to get better, and there's a big chorus with Danny. It's really, really good. He's got a really strong voice in this song. I Don't Want to Die. Kind of a song to try to relax to, in a way. Very jealous song about probably killing the person who has one of his ex-girlfriends. You got a bit of rapping in there, but this song's mostly based upon Danny's vocals. It's another one of my favorites. Hear Me Now. Honestly, the song that got me into Hollywood Undead starts off with J-Dog rapping, and then comes into like one of the hugest choruses I've ever heard from Danny, and then you got J-Dog, Johnny Three Tears rapping these really beautiful lyrics. And you got a pre-chorus. That's the thing with this album. There's not just like Deuce would pretty much sing a chorus and that was it. That's why I enjoyed Sell Your Soul so much off the last album, because it wasn't just Deuce sings the chorus, it goes back to rapping, and then does the whole thing over again. Some of the songs on here are like that, but not a lot of them. Gangsta Sexy, I'm not a big fan of the all ghetto songs and shit. It's not a bad song, but it's kind of catchy. It's not so bad. Glory, it's really typical, really generic song. I'm sorry. He literally just says the chorus over and over again. Not one of my favorites. Lights Out builds up with a bunch of electronic beats. Starts in with what sounds like many vocals from Danny, but probably the whole band singing, and they keep versing. Like the verses are pretty much power packed, and so is the chorus. And it's one of my other favorite ones. It kind of sounds like they want to kick the shit out of somebody. Coming Back Down, probably my favorite song on the album. Oh, Hear Me Now was another one of the hits. I'm honestly surprised that this one wasn't a hit. It's kind of a cool little soft start off with Danny's voice. And then you got some really meaningful lyrics sung by the rappers, and they even sing a little bit in some of these. Bullet, a really good song that I'm surprised this one wasn't a hit either. Starts off with Johnny Scene singing. You got a little bit of guitar from Danny in here. Uh, it's kind of a depressing song. Not depressing. They make kind of I Want to Kill Myself song sound happy. But it kind of reminds me of iCarly vocals, but it's a really good song. It's kind of funny, not iCarly vocals, but like there'd be dudes singing iCarly sometimes, kind of kitty, and it sounded like not kitty, but you know. Levitate starts off with kind of a cool little verse, kind of like a pissy sounding verse, like fuck you and stuff like that, and it's got a huge chorus. It's kind of a party song. You can tell, you can imagine just walking through a crowd, like a bar partying with this song. I've never been at a bar, but that's what you picture when you hear this song. Poor Me, a really, probably the most soothing song I've ever heard. Really kind of sad. One of my favorites on the album, but if you listen to the lyrics, they can really touch in here. Tendencies, it ends with a nice hard rock song. This really isn't much of a rap song. It's kind of hard vocals by Danny. The rappers try to make it as hard as they can. But that's pretty much the album. I found this much more enjoyable than Swan Song, sorry, but it's because there was a lot more to this album than the other one. There was more guitar, there was more vocals, there was more rapping, there was more meaning to the songs. Not saying Deuce wasn't good with Swan Song. I just think Deuce is better doing his alone stuff. America and One, a really good song. But I'm sorry, people who think, I mean, you probably could like Deuce better in the band. He sounded great on the CD, don't get me wrong. Swan Songs, he's a great producer and obviously a great composer of music. Just what I heard from him live wasn't too great, in him lip syncing all the time. Danny isn't perfect live, but he still does pretty good, and he doesn't lip sync. But thank you. It's 5 stars. My favorite songs are Been to Hell, Apologize, Coming in Hot, My Town, I Don't Want to Die, Hear Me Now, Lights Out, Coming Back Down, Bullet, Levitate, and Pour Me. See, there were a lot of favorites on this album. This album's really addicting. I hope you enjoy it. Because honestly, it wasn't all based upon a lead singer. I mean, he sounds really similar to Deuce anyway. I mean, it's only Deuce's voice wasn't as layered. I think Danny's voice is a little higher, but hopefully you enjoyed this.